Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Legislative Affairs, Democratic strategist Joel Rubin. Unique perspective on this. First job out of the Peace Corps was USAID. You are a true do-gooder, and we are proud of you. I don't know. That. I don't think I can ever look at apples the same way, certainly not tomorrow morning. But Elon Musk have a point.
Look, USAID is a mess. Anyone who's worked there would know that, would say that, would agree with.
So why won't Democrats say that?
Well, you know, they're trapped in a dynamic right now where aid matters. And I just want to pull it back a little bit. America needs to provide aid overseas to secure war zones in Gaza and Ukraine, Afghanistan. Before we need humanitarian assistance. But the entity, the organization, needs a lot of help.
Okay, so again, why can't Democrats admit that?
I think that, frankly, it's a shock and awe moment right now. And we saw it over the weekend. Look, Elon Musk going in with his team, Franklin to Saturday night, moving in, pressuring, shutting down computers, telling people you don't come to work. It didn't have to be this way. If you did want Democrats on board, there are ways to do it. And Marco Rubio today said as much.
Yeah, well, he did. But I wanted to think this is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
This is how Caroline Levitt, White House spokesperson, talked about USAID.
These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either.
Well, they were approved by Congress by both chambers and both parties. So I do
okay.
I will say
that's the best you got. No, but this is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Is
not good.
There, for Democrats who, and I'm with you, USAID is an enormous amount of America's soft power around the world. It's an important thing to do. There's a lot of things that if we don't do, the Chinese come and do.
That's right.
But is there no shame or embarrassment among Democrats that they so politicized and polluted this really good organization with this kind of junk, that they've destroyed the very thing that they say is so important?
Well, there is here, and I think that if you get
by here, you mean you?
By here, this one, this Democrat, and I think if you get behind closed doors and you have those meetings and discussions about what needs to be fixed and reformed, you're going to find a lot of Democrats agreeing. But right now, the back is up against the wall. The concern, the big picture, is that there's a dismantling of a federal agency without oversight, against the law. It is an authorized agency.
Do Democrats realize? But do Democrats realize when you are telling American taxpayers, money must be spent overseas on transgender comic books in Peru, it's just not working?
I think the Democrats will argue, look, this is less than 1% of the budget overall. It's a tiny minuscule, but I'm not going to defend those programs. But that
this whole less than 1%
all the billions of dollars are wasted.
Less than 1% thing. It seems like such a straw man argument to me.
Well, it's because, look, Americans in poll after poll...
Who cares?
But wait, Americans in poll after poll think that we spend up to 20% of our budget on foreign aid, and that's a misnomer. It's not going to make a dent in deficit savings. What it does mean, though, is this is money that can help advance American interests. But you're right. Look, I'm not going to argue and say that some of these programs need to be saved, but throwing out the entire agency to save them is not how you're going to protect America.
Well, again, do you understand the feeling in middle America?
Absolutely.
That the rot is so bad? I can't believe I'm saying this to people who are currently at their dinner tables eating, perhaps. The apples and the worms, that you hear that and people go, yeah, we've had enough.
Yeah, I think that is the problem. I think that's where we've been, have a blind spot as Democrats. These are small, tiny examples, and I hate that they're the ones being used. What about the examples of thousands of ISIS fighters being held in prison in Syria, paid for through USAID? That's an example Americans can get behind. That's what we need to be talking about. These other examples, they stink. They need to go.
It's like a bowl of worms.
But we need some reform here.
All right, I promise at our next meal there will not be apples.
I appreciate it.